Welcome to the Ville, Yankeeville. It's David here. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to the channel. If you're new, I hope you like the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Jazz Chisholm wants how much in free agency? I think that's been basically the big question in the offseason and leading into spring training. The big question mark from Jazz Chisholm's camp is kind of what the expectations are with him going into free agency at the end of the season. But we do know the number now, and there's been a lot of mixed reactions on, is it accurate? Is he really worth that number? And we're kind of going to see at the end of the season if it is really true. Now, in the 2025 season, he hit for a .242 batting average with 31 home runs, 80 RBIs, 31 stolen bases, 813 OPS with 125 OPS plus. Like we discussed before, Jazz Chisholm had a really great year last year. Obviously, the batting average, we wish it could have been a little higher. Wish he could have hit maybe 260, 270, 280. That would have been great. But he was a 30-30 guy with over 800 OPS, and he was 25% better than league. Can't really complain about that. Jazz Chisholm was electric, and he's been something that we've been missing at second base for a long time. Gleyber Torres before was not electric to the degree of Jazz Chisholm. I think Gleyber Torres always had a pretty good bat. The defense was pretty suspect. Jazz Chisholm has the defense and the bat. So Jazz Chisholm, great threat in the lineup. Obviously, like we talked about before in 2024, when we did acquire him and he was on the Yankees, he only played 46 games. He had a .273 batting average, 11 home runs, 23 RBIs, 825 OPS, and 131 OPS plus. So he had a really great productive start to his Yankees career as we acquired him in 2024, so 2 years ago. He was a really good addition to the lineup. Like I said before, something that we didn't have in the lineup before, a power speed threat. So Jazz Chisholm really felt at home. Obviously, he was able to abuse that right field short porch. Sometimes he doesn't really need it. He has a lot of power for such a smaller frame guy. But Jazz Chisholm overall, he's been a great Yankee, and hopefully we do retain him in the future as we go towards the end of the season, because the Yankees really don't like to extend guys. 2025 Silver Slugger, and he was the AL All-Star. As we all discussed before, he had a really great season. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty, Jazz Chisholm's number, 8 to 10 years, basically at a 35 million annual AAV, 280 million to 350 when you add it all up. Now, is that really realistic for Jazz? 8 to 10 years, 280 to 350 million? In my opinion, I think it is realistic if we look at the 8-year mark, but if we get into the 10 or 11-year mark, that's where it does become unrealistic. Jazz Chisholm right now is 28. As he goes into his free agency, he will be about 29. So that 8-year mark will put him about 36, 37. Maybe the 8 years, maybe a little unrealistic. He'll probably have to come down on the number. Maybe he'll be in the 6 to 8 year range. But I think the 10 years is a little unrealistic at this point. He will be 29 by the time he's a free agent. And I don't think many teams really want to sign a lot of free agents going into the late 30s, 38 and 39 on guys that aren't bona fide superstars. I think Jazz Chisholm is a star, a really high tier star, but I don't think Jazz Chisholm is a superstar. He's not a Bryce Harper. He's not an Aaron Judge. He's not those guys that can be your number one in the lineup, and you're going to expect him to produce the same every single year. Jazz Chisholm has gotten better as he's aged, and obviously he's in a better system with better teammates and better organization overall compared to the Miami Marlins. No offense, but the Yankees is a different organization and definitely brings out either the best or the worst in some of the players. But Jazz Chisholm, it has brought out the best, and we have seen great production that we haven't seen before from him. So Jazz Chisholm, I think he can be worth that 8-year, 280 million. I think maybe the 280, maybe a little high. I think he's probably an 8-year, 240 to 250 range guy. I think he's like in the low 30s. I think he could be 30, 31, maybe somewhere around that number that Cody Bellinger came in about as far as AAV. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the signing bonus or anything like that, but I think Cody Bellinger's number as far as the annual basis could be about what Jazz Chisholm is going to be at, because Jazz Chisholm is going to be about 29. Cody Bellinger, obviously this year at free agency, he was 30. So I think the Yankees are really going to evaluate that, and we're going to see ultimately where his market does land next year. But like I said before, when it comes to the Yankees, they don't like to give a lot of extensions. I don't know why. I think it makes it a little easier when you do have the extensions. You're able to actually save money on players if you do extend them, because once they hit the open market, now you got the Red Sox coming out of left field, the Blue Jays coming out of right field, the Orioles coming out of the dugout. Like, you got all these different teams coming out of nowhere, and then ultimately you got the Dodgers coming in with the Godfather offer and driving up everyone's price. And then next thing you know, you have to pay Jazz Chisholm $40 million a year because of the open market. So I think the Yankees should try to extend Jazz Chisholm this year, because I think Jazz Chisholm is going to do what he did last year or better. I think Jazz Chisholm should hopefully age well. I mean, he has had some injury concerns here and there. Obviously, he had an injury last year, but he played a good majority of the season. When it comes to Jazz Chisholm, very athletic guy, power, speed threat, and hopefully he does age well over that term of the contract. But I think the Yankees are a little wary on giving longer term contracts to position players. Obviously, Aaron Judge got 9 years. He's the face of the franchise. He's the captain. But as far as other players, I think the Yankees are very wary on doing that. As far as like DJ LeMahieu, Jacoby Ellsbury, Aaron Hicks, all those type of contracts that have kind of gone bad. I mean, obviously some of those guys are outfielders, but the Yankees are very wary on giving long-term money to players that they're not 100% on. I think it kind of goes that the Yankees aren't 100% on Jazz Chisholm because they did dangle his name around in some trade rumors, whether that's because he was on a 1-year deal or they don't know how well he's going to project as he does going to his 30s. But I think the Yankees should retain Jazz Chisholm. Maybe not at that number that he wants, but I think there should be some kind of middle ground. I think Jazz Chisholm wants to be a Yankee, and I think the Yankees are really excited, and they've gotten a lot of production out of him in the last year and a half that he's been on the team. Now, also another thing that the Yankees may entertain is some of the internal or replacement options. Obviously, we got George Lombard, you got Roderick Arias, you got a few guys that are coming up through the system that could profile well to be at second base. So I think maybe the Yankees have entertained that option as well, playing a younger guy there to save the money that they would ultimately have to pay a Jazz Chisholm as he approaches his 30s. And at this point, it wouldn't really surprise me because the Yankees have made some cost-cutting measures, and at this point, it wouldn't be a big surprise. But I don't think that would be the right option or the right direction that the Yankees should go in. And we're going to ultimately see. We're going to see if the Yankees do participate in contract extension talks with Jazz, or they kind of let it play out like they've done with Aaron Judge, Juan Soto. Let them play out the season, and at the end of the season, when they hit free agency, we're going to talk then. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you want to see Jazz Chisholm retain on the team? What do you think of his contract number that he's looking for in free agency? And ultimately, what do you think Jazz Chisholm is going to do in the 2026 season? But thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the video, and hope to see you return back to the channel. Welcome to the Ville, Yankeeville.